Ano yan?
Sinabihan ko na yung sinabihan ko na yung mga, yung kaibigan ko sa Globe, sa Shopee, tapos yung kaibigan ko sa Globe, sabi ko, tulungan na ako, pumasok sa Gcash. Gusto ko ang daming sa Gcash ngayon, ang daming opening. But the only problem na nagiging problem sa sa job application ko is wala daw akong practical experience.
Practical experience meaning like, working in startups, ganun? Or
mostly theoretical daw ang experience ko. Kasi academic, research.
Alam mo, may ganun naman kasi talagang parang perception yung companies or people in startups. Iba yung theoretical sa actual, like, nagpatakbo ka na ng business or you were part of a startup. So, pag academe ka, ayun, yung theoretical na sinasabi nila na parang puro turo. Kadalasan naman yung mga nagtuturo, wala naman experience.
True. And sabi ko nga sa kanya, alam mo, get me in an interview with them para ma-explain ko. Kasi right now, if they're going to base it on just my CV, makikita talaga nila is all very theoretical. Pero sa lahat ng nagko-consult sa akin, kahit yung sa mga pag nagti-panel, pag nagti-thesis defense, yung mga company rep, kung gusto na akong i-pirate, sabi ko, ay hindi. Dapat pala, nagpakuha na ako.
Tayin mo, baka sa sunod na thesis, kunin ka na mga
Actually nga, binulungan ko na nga yung sa Binulungan ko na nga yung sa Yung, di ba, habang we had the meeting with, parang debriefing with their company rep. Ayun, binulungan ko na. Sabi ko, baka may opening naman kayo dyan. I'm available.
Yes. Ano ba yung mga in-applyan mo, no?
Dami. Tinandami talaga.
Tama ba? May nakita ko sa LinkedIn, nag-post ka. Video. Ikaw ba yun?
Oo, tanga. Yun yung research ko.
Okay.
Yun yung isa sa mga published na research ko. That's why I was thinking na, if we have the podcast, then magkakaroon ako ng content dun sa LinkedIn ko and I'll be more, they will see, diba? They will see that I'm not just theoretical.
Okay.
Kumbaga may laman. It goes way beyond it goes way beyond what they see in my CV.
So, yung dahilan mo kaya gusto mo rin mag-podcast?
Well, one of the reasons. The other reasons, para, baka may mag-sponsor dyan, isang iPad naman dyan.
Ako, masaya na ako mag-sponsor sa akin, Tiger.
Ang galing na product positioning dyan, ha?
Okay na eh. Like, Tiger lang. Masaya na ako eh. Black Strong. Masaya na ako. Swabe naman eh.
Galing na product. Definitely, you are a marketing person.
Of course. Ako naman, parang like, gusto kong mag-podcast. Ito na yung pinakang-creative outlet ko eh. Ito na yung weekend ngayon. Pero nasasabaw ako, babaliw ako kung work pa rin ba yung gagawin ko. Parang nakakaumay na, parang buong linggo na nga, yun na nga yung ginagawa ko eh. So ito, natutuwa ako na yan. Nag-message ka ako, podcast tayo, or gawin natin to ganyan. Sige. Oo na lang ng oo.
Kasi, it's a good creative outlet din yan, no? Hindi lang yung puro, pagod na ako, kaya nga ako nag-decide na magpa-demote kahit na halos kalahati ang mababawa sa aking sweldo.
Ano na bang balak mo? Gano'n ka na lang katagal dun?
This is my last term of full time. Next term.
Yung part-time mo until makahanap ka, ganun? Or kahit may trabaho ka na
part-time? Kahit may trabaho. Yun yung in the beginning, nung nag-uusap-usap kami tungkol nga dyan, nung hindi ako yung nag-decide yung department chair na wag na akong i-renew for full time. Nung una I was kind of disappointed. Parang I felt betrayed. Pero after thinking about it, naisip ko, tama naman. They were trying to keep me safe na parang kasi if I continued on with the renewal process, pag hindi ako na-renew, let's say may isang hindi nag-vote na hindi nag-agree na i-renew ako, hindi na ako makakapagtrabaho sa Lasal ever. So ang ginawa nila, parang inunahan na yun, na i-demote na lang ako na para na hindi ako maging permanent. And then as part-time, kasi yun nga, okay naman lahat ng evaluation ko. Sumablay lang talaga sa DBA.
Sumablay in what way?
May mga bagsak. May mga incomplete ako. Tapos ang rin kasi, ang requirement kasi sa ang requirement for permanency is I have to complete my doctorate within the span of 3 years.
Makukompleto mo naman?
Hindi.
Puta.
Kaya nga, doon ako sumablay kasi hindi ko siya makukompleto kasi nga may mga nag-drop ako sa ibang, in some terms, nag-withdraw ako, nag-drop ako kasi hindi ko kaya. So napaisip ako noon eh. It was during yung kila Christine 2 terms ago. Napaisip na talaga ako. Sabi ko, parang during that time, parang napapabayaan ko ng mga estudyante ko. And I don't want that. So my priority is my students, and then myself, and then professional growth. So those are my 3 choices. So sabi ko, I cannot take those 3 at the same time. So I had to sacrifice one. So I chose to sacrifice my professional growth kasi mas importante sa akin yung estudyante ko. And of course, mas importante yung sarili ko.
Wow, Nobel.
Yeah. Go away, professional. And after thinking about it, actually, it's much it's much better na mag-part-time ako. Alam mo ba? Kasi isipin mo, kung full-time ako, hindi ako pwedeng pwedeng magtrabaho anywhere else. Magpa-part-time ako, I can, number one, I have the freedom to go to other schools, to teach in other schools, pero hindi ko naman gagawin yun. But ang importante talaga is, while I'm earning as a part-time professor, Salle, on top of it, meron ako salary galing corpo. So, kung sa corporate world, na ako, actually, nilalagay ko nga lang expected salary, 70 to 90.
Kasi iniisip mo na yung part-time mo sa Lasal yung sasalo, ganun.
Hindi. Right now, kaya ganun yung expected salary ko. Kasi right now, ang salary ko is 70,093 per month. Wala, hindi pa na-deduct yung taxes. Pero yun yung salary ko, 70,000. So, i-cover na yun yung corporate job, 70,000. Let's say, makakuha ko ng 70,000. Then on top of it, I think I can get, kasi last time when I was part-time, I got 20,000, mga 20,000, mga 40,000, 35,000 per month. So isipin mo yun. If I get the corpo and then I get the part-time, I can easily get 60. Just mas mataas pa yung sahod ko ngayon na nag-part-time ako compared dun sa nag-full-time ako.
Kung tatanungin ka long term, anong plano mo? Corpo? Academe?
Yun yung question na I'm trying to avoid because if they ask me on the long term, what am I going to do? Academy.
Okay. Bakit academy?
Nandun yung passion ko.
Teaching.
Teaching. Yun yung passion ko. I've always, ever since I've always wanted to be a professor, and that's where I feel na I'm effective and efficient. So, ayun.
What sets you apart from different professors sa Lasal? Bakit tingin mo na ikaw dapat nandun?
It's not really about me setting myself apart. Job interview ba?
Hindi really. Kasi when you talk about yung ginagawa mo sa Lasal or the way you teach, I feel like nung time ko sa Lasal, nung nag-aaral ako doon, completely different as compared to like how they teach or kung gaano ka up to date yung tinuturo nila. So, I see potential dun sa side na yon. So, do you see yung side na yon, yung potential na yon, or like yung different understanding mo sa marketing or technology in general? Is it something na you feel you need to communicate or teach or like at least acknowledge and ituro sa...
Definitely yung about being up to date, with technology, with everything. And it's that fresh perspective that I bring into the mix of being number one, being one of the younger professors in the department.
Ilang taon ka na ba?
Ha?
Ilang taon ka na ba?
21.
Fuck you.
Bakit? Alam mo, lagi ko sinasabi sa mga students ko, we're all Gen Z here. I'm a Gen Z. Hindi ba?
29, di ba?
Do I not look like a Gen Z?
29, di ba? 29 ka na, di ba?
29, 21.
Gago. Bakit? 27 ako eh. Gago ko eh. So, 29.
21.
Ako sa'yo.
Plus 10.
Mas matanda ka pala kay Nico.
Okay, ano taon ba si Nico?
Kaka-30 niya lang.
Oo, ayun.
Pero, matanda ka pala kay Nico. Okay. Sige, okay.
Ngayon mo lang na-discover.
Going back. So, yun nga. Yun. Aware ka naman dun. So, bakit nga academe? Bakit nandun yung passion mo? Bakit sa pagtuturo nun? Like, why?
Because, it's not just about teaching. Well, primarily, it's all about teaching. Kasi, being, it's that feeling that you get after you've taught the student, and then the student will go, wow, ganun pala yun. They discover all that, how things function in the world, and also like for example, the group that got the best thesis, sila Christine, diba? They were really, the satisfaction is there na you managed to help out your students to get there. And that for me is primarily, that's the main reason. I love that feeling. Really, that feeling of being able to help them become more aware about the things around them, things in the world. And secondly, I'm a very curious person. You know, diba? I mean, I'm a very curious person na, tingnan mo, nag-try, even, trinay ko, di ba? Because I wanted to experience it. Everyone was talking about it, and I wanted to experience it. So, there's that aspect of me that wants to be that researcher aspect in me that really loves data and gathering data and knowing knowing things from experience. Para pagka, when I teach it to students, I know what I'm talking about because I already perceived it. Because a lot of people, right? A lot of people give advice or give things that they haven't even perceived it. Di ba yung ibang tao, bibigyan ka ng relationship advice. Pero pag tinanong mo, how have you ever been in a relationship? They will say no. And when that happens, I always ask them, so how do you know? How do you know this happened? Is it how do you know how do you know what it feels like? If you haven't even felt it before, you haven't even gone through it before. And I want that. I love that. That's why I love data. And data for me is everything. It tells you, it establishes claims, it establishes conclusions, it establishes that a certain notion that you can argue about something, you can make a claim about something, but without the proper data, without the proper basis for it, you it's nothing but just hearsay.
I get that naman. Kasi parang when you talk about data, when you talk about like teaching people, like we have to admit naman na hindi naman lahat ng tinuturo natin is yun na yung final eh. Like there are ways na it can still be improved, it can still change in the future. Pero at the very least, it's a way to get the conversation moving forward. Diba? And if you're able to channel that, if you're able to express in a way lahat na natutunan mo and make other people, make students parang think for themselves or like understand na yun nga, like things are constantly evolving pero right now, I need the facts, I need the data, I need to parang understand the situation ngayon with this specific topic. If I'm able to understand that, maybe I can formulate my own understanding of this specific topic and then push ko forward and then dun sila matututo, kumbaga. Yeah. And you facilitate that way of learning. And dun din naman ako nagagaling when very similar ako sa'yo, parang in terms of like passion, in terms of like what drives me, teaching talaga, like helping other people, teaching other people, helping them learn. It's one of the things that excites me talaga. So, dun nagsisimula yung pagtatalo natin dun sa magturo ba ako sa Lasal. Pero, ginagawa ko nga is like, nagsiseminar naman ako, nagtuturo naman ako ng mga students, nagtuturo naman ako ng mga even people in corporate. And I'm still able to do kung ano yung tinuturo, yung ginagawa mo. So, dun ako still on the fence in terms of like teaching sa academe. Kasi I feel na malilimit ako ng ng curriculum. Malilimit ako ng syllabus, parang ganun. Na-experience mo ba yun na nagtuturo ka?
Well, not really. Or a bit. Kasi, when it comes to the curriculum, when it comes to the syllabus, right? It's just, parang lang siya. For me, when it comes to college, kasi that's the difference. That's why I love, that's why I choose, or I prefer to teach in undergrad, and rather than, senior high and, secondary education. Because, in the undergrad, the syllabus is just merely your guidelines. It's up to you how you're going to teach it. So whatever is in it's like a compass. You're just there. It's just there to point you in the direction as to where or how you're supposed to go about teaching it. But the content is up to you. The content needs to constantly evolve with the times. And sometimes that's a frustration as well when it comes to the, uh, when you have uh, wizened,
Mm.
wizened uh, lecturers or professors. They're they're stuck there. They get stuck there. They get because it's already comfortable. That's the comfortable, that's a comfortable thing
Yun yung, yun yung nakikita ko, like, throughout my college years, throughout, yung mga students na kausap ko, like, yun yung, kumbaga, yun yung pinakakalat yun yung pinaka, nangyayari ngayon, yung pinakang situation ngayon sa, sa academe Like, kung saan comfortable yung mga professors, ganyan. So, dun ako natatakot na what if malagay din ako sa situation na yun. Parang...
But the thing is, it's up to you. In this, in La Salle, it's up to you. So, as your content will continue to, if you allow it to be stagnant, then you will be stagnant. But if you don't allow it that way, you make sure that whatever content that you're teaching, you're providing to the students evolves with the time. Nasa yun, you have the control, and that's what I like. That's what I love and it's not just about teaching. Is not just about for me. Teaching is not just about me being able to communicate with the students and to pass down the knowledge. Teaching for me means that I have to continually learn as well, because if I don't continually learn, if I don't continually do my research, I will become stagnant. I won't be able to adapt to the current times, and I will keep teaching. If I choose, I will continue to teach, the things that I've been teaching right now to the next generation, which is for me no way, because sometimes what you've been what may have worked like a year ago may not be relevant anymore. It may not work anymore for the next year or the year after that.
Has there ever been a situation na yung curriculum, yung syllabus, or whatever yung required na ituro mo was outdated na? Sa understanding mo is outdated na?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
How did you go around that?
Research. You definitely do the research that I do. That's why usually the research that I do is for the current time. Like for example, creating a predictive model in terms of consumption, in terms of purchasing behavior of generations, and comparing each generation and how they actually do their purchasing. And with that research, you get the answers. You get the answers that you need in order for you to teach. Not say perfectly, but in a more effectively. That's
okay. Was there a time na you're going against your syllabus, your curriculum, and you were called out by dean, professors, or na-require ka na hindi ituro mo yung nasa curriculum, ituro mo yung nasa syllabus?
Not really. That hasn't happened before. I've been called out.
Required ba kayo na ituro ko exactly kung ano nasa syllabus?
No, you're the one who's supposed to design your own syllabus. That's the beauty of it.
Curriculum.
What do you mean by curriculum? Curriculum as in yung how they're going to progress?
Yes.
How the student is going to progress? So the curriculum is the curriculum is already determined. You're supposed to, and you're not, as a professor, you're not supposed to touch that unless you're an admin or you're the chair. And
Yun nga.
whenever
So,
whenever
yun nga.
whenever
Yung
there are changes, whenever there are changes to the curriculum, it goes through like for example, we have a department meeting. In that department meeting, you're going to present that we have to put, like for example, right now, there's during the current times, what is needed is e-commerce, digital media, digital analytics. So, like me and some group of professors, we pushed for that to be included into the curriculum. So now, actually, the next term, in the next academic year, there's going to be digital analytics, marketing analytics. There's going to be e-commerce. There's going
So,
to
it's
be
constantly improved naman.
constantly improving. That's the beauty of that's the beauty of La Salle, I think. That it keeps they don't stick to their old guns. They always keep evolving with the current time. Ooh, go
Okay.
La Salle.
Animo Lasal.
Animo La Salle.
Okay, kasi yun yung perception ko for the longest time na parang curriculum assist na yan. Bawal na galawin yan. Tapos, yun nga, if outdated na siya, wala no. Kasi yun yung experience ko sa previous schools ko. May times na na-experience ko rin yun sa Lasal na yung tinuturo nung time na yun, I think a good example would be business plans. Like, entrep graduate ako business plan, yun naman yung usually requirement. Parang thesis mo na yun, kailangan mo execute yun. Pero during that time, when I was learning, na-expose na rin ako outside of traditional academia. So, I was exposed na to the startup world. Doon ko na tutunan yung lean canvas, for example. Much more simpler. And mas agile in terms of like executing a business. And more room for error, which is very essential in running a business kasi you can't say naman na you can't make mistakes kasi it's one of the ways na a business can improve So, dun ako nalimitan, and with that experience, na-carry over na yun sa perception ko na yung academe very limited. So, gets mo?
Because alam mo, yung when it comes to the curriculum rin kasi, the curriculum is there. There's a pathway or there's a flow for the students to go through. But the subjects within that curriculum is taken by by individual professors and each of those professors has their freedom to actually teach that particular subject in their own ways. So I think
or influence the curriculum.
Hindi, it's they're very exclusive, kumbaga. It's really the professors really have the freedom. Kumbaga, tinatawag namin yung academic freedom. They have the academic freedom to do what they want in that particular class. So that's where it comes in. Na sinasabi ko, every time in the beginning of every single time during orientation for my classes, sabi ko, when it comes to communication or communicating with me, I tell them, if don't message me on Sundays, because if God rested on the seventh day, let me rest. And that's where that comes in. It's really yun talaga because in you have that freedom in such a way that if you are in the classroom, the professor is God. He can do whatever he wants, in the classroom. But outside of class, of course, syempre hindi na. Pero in the classroom, what he teaches, what happens in the classroom, up to him. Well, that's why he's the God.
Okay.
And maybe may rin dun. May factor din yun. I love playing God. Kasi nga, di ba sinasabi?
Get. Okay. So, kung i-convince mo nga ako, like, bridging the way I do my seminars or the way I teach people ngayon and the way you teach sa academe, if you were to bridge those two, like, how would you convince me na okay lang sa academe? What's para yung perks? Ano yung benefit? Why would I choose the academe over teaching parang unofficially or like teaching outside in seminars and workshops gano'n?
For me, I think it's convince you. You impact more people. Younger audience. And di ba sabi nga ni Rizal, ang mga bata, ang pag-asa ng bayan.
Yun din sabi ni Jesus.
Welcome the young. And, you want to nurture them. You want to make sure that that in the future, they're doing the right things. They're not just learning things theoretically, but because of your experience, because of what you have already done, it's all practical. Because again, it's not about education. Really, it's not about the theory of learning all those theoretical knowledge. Not all of that. Education should be about practical. It has to be hands-on. Because, like, for example, if you learn something, let's say you're learning how to fix a car. You've read the car manual line by line. You memorize the car manual line by line. But when it happens, when your car breaks down in the middle of the road or in the middle of nowhere, the question is, will you be able to fix the car or not? Most likely, you won't. Or maybe you will, but it will take a long, long time because, you're trying to figure out, you're trying to remember line by line what you've learned in the car manual. But if you're already hands-on with it, if you learned it practical in a practical basis, you're hands-on. When it breaks down, you hear, okay, may sumisipol dito sa may sumisipol dito. Oh, okay. Then I know what to do with it immediately. I don't have to remember what I've read in the car manual and, regurgitate everything. And that's what you can do. If you're doing it in seminar, you're doing it already. But the people in the seminar, you don't have the time to really nurture them and correct them because it's just 3 days, a day that they listen to you. After that, wala na. But here, in the academe, you're able to nurture them and really train them correctly, and be there and guide them along the way, all the way from the beginning. You're leading them. So you're effectively being, the wizened advisor, that guides them throughout their journey. And it's more effective than being just in seminar. Because in seminar, they're, they listen to you. And then after that, they forget about you. But in the academe, they listen to you and they thank you afterward. Because what you've taught them is going to now be a part of their achievement in life. And you will always be there. You'll always be marked in their heart. And that's the beauty. For me, that's the beauty of That's the beauty of being a professor, being a teacher. You'll always be there in their hearts. Even after they graduate. Maalala at maalala ka nila.
Okay, you convinced me na. That last part got me. Gets ko naman yun. Parang seminars, 1-3 days, okay, gets. Pero yung academia, much more long term. And you get to guide the students. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Bakit ka ano? Bakit? Kung ako, I want to be a professor. I choose to be in the academy. Bakit ikaw? You choose to be an entrepreneur. Why an entrepreneur and not someone na working in the corporate world?
Very personal siya actually sa akin eh. Yung tanong na yun. Ang kwento ko kasi, I think narinig mo na to sa dami-dami ng seminar ko. Lagi ko nga kinikwento to eh. Pero, pero, ever since bata ako, like, yung perception ko sa pera or perception ko sa work was, you put in work, you get money out of it. So, very corporate naman type of mindset. Di ko alam kung ano yung na-trigger sa akin o ano yung nag-start sa akin, pero I started seeing opportunities around me. Like, nung bata ako, sa Saudi ako pinanganak, diba? Tapos doon ako lumaki. Yung mga tito-tita ko, tito-tita, tawag namin, like close family friends. Ako, nakikitan sa akin, cute naman talaga ako kasi. Ang pinapagawa sa akin, for example, is, like, pa-joke sabihin, pamasahe naman, ganun. Bigyan ako ng 5 reals. 5 reals siguro, mga nasa 50 pesos, ganun. Tapos, ulitin ko yun, paulit-ulit every Sunday during church. Yung church kasi nung time na yun, was sa bahay namin, sa apartment namin sa Saudi. Kasi bawal open celebrating Christianity. Siyempre, Muslim country. So, iikutan ko lahat ng mga tito-tita ko na, papamasahe, ganyan. So, mag-iipon ako. Tapos, papambili ko yun ng game sa PlayStation. Nung time na yun, may PlayStation ako na pwede pirated. So, bibili ako ng mga pirated games dun sa supermarket malapit sa amin. So, nag-enjoy ako dun, ganun. Tapos, nagiging active yung utak ko na ano pa yung mga ways na pwede ko gawin para makabili ng games. Gumawa pa ng pera. So, umabot sa point na yung isang ninong ko, binili ako ng Game Boy. Yung Game Boy, pagdating sa school, mga tao parang like, na-excite. Ako lang may Game Boy sa school eh. Ginagawa ko, pinaparenta ko. Tapos, parang kumita pa ng pera, ganyan.
Tapos, first time that I know that.
Yeah. Okay, buti pala. So, paparenta ko. Tapos, yun, kita ko pera. May pambili pa ako ng games, ganyan. Tapos, kung ano naisip ko na business ideas, ganun. Like, ways to make more money. So, since elementary pa lang, yun yung perception ng pera. Na, you find opportunities to make money, you grab it, tapos you get, kung ano yung gusto mo out of it. Yun, nung time na yun, game sa akin. So, since bata pa lang, gusto ko na mag-business. So, I understood na yung track pala na ganun, yung track na paghanap ng opportunities, pag-solve ng problems na gusto ng people na ma-solve is entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So, throughout elementary, high school, I've been reading books, mga Rich Dad Poor Dad, yung mga typical na binabasa mo, parang typical na narinig mo from people who became entrepreneurs, Rich Dad Poor Dad, ganyan. And I understood na there's a different way of making money aside from corporate. which is starting your own business or investing. And I chose entrepreneurship kasi super liberating feeling para sa akin to parang envision something and then eventually have it materialize in front of me. So you create something out of nothing and then it turns into a business, it turns into a career, it turns into something na becomes your livelihood. So very yun nga, liberating experience for me. Liberating feeling. And nung pagdating ng college, I promised myself na before I graduate, ito alam mo na for sure, is before I graduate, I want to start a business, something that will sustain me. Something na yun nga, will become my main source of money talaga. So, throughout my years in college, I started several businesses. A lot of them failed. A lot of them didn't work out. And by the time na last year in college, I went back to my roots. Sabi ko, bakit ko ba ginagawa to? Is it, money? Is it because I want to become an entrepreneur? So, I went back to my roots and I realized sa sarili ko na it was all about creating stuff. So, yun na nga, like, series of events led towards me parang grasping my love for technology and my love for writing. And from one moment to another, ayun, naging digital marketing company siya. And that's why, never ko mabitawan talaga entrepreneurship kasi it's the place or like it's the track na I feel na I can envision something, create something out of my head and then have it materialize in front of me. And it not only makes me money, pero another side effect na na-realize ko throughout building businesses is it affects a lot of lives. Kasi kami, as a digital marketing company, we're not just marketing businesses, pero we're helping these businesses grow. And in turn, makes them more money, helps them hire more people, helps them solve more problems. So, nakita ko parang yung effect na yun, like, sobrang ibang experience siya from corporate. Kasi, like, my perception of, corporate is, yun nga, you're in a job to help yourself, yes. Pero yung end result ng lahat ng ginagawa mo is to help out the organization as a whole. So, yun, it's, more of freedom. A feeling of freedom. That's why I love entrepreneurship.
And when it comes to the main reason talaga, I think not really about freedom for you, right? I mean, primarily it's freedom, pero it's the thought that you're helping people out, no?
That's true. Yun nga, kaya sinasabi ko na relate yung tracks natin in terms of like educating people, in terms of like, you working in the academy, me working in business, is because we get to help a lot of people. Yun yung side effect, yun yung na-realize ko down the line na kaya teaching people and doing business, two of the things that I love the most. Kasi at the end of the day, you're helping a lot of people. So, yun yung pinaka naka-energize sa akin talaga.
Kaya I've always, ever since at the beginning, na sinabi ko na sa'yo, perfect ka talaga maging teacher din. Because, you have the knowledge, you have the heart, and it's not just the heart of teaching or what, it's the heart of helping people out. I mean, experience ko, you're of all, I have a lot of friends. But you're one of the few friends that really goes all out pagka to help out. You're the generous one, you're and and the way you're operating with life, you know, being a blessing to others, nababless ka rin eh. Diba?
Again, it's a side effect nung pagtulong.
And ang galing eh, and we can see how it evolved. So that's why why you really stuck to, kasi ang dami mong ginawa eh, di ba? Naalala ko pa yung chicken skin nyo eh. Sarap nun.
Oh yeah, food business. Trinay ko mag-food business. Yeah.
Diba? Naalala ko pa yun eh. Yung chicken skin. May calamares pa yun. No?
Yeah, calamares at proben.
Oo, di ba?
Nung time na wala pang merkato, kami yung pinakaunang merkato.
Oo, nandun pa yun sa may di ba? Sa may
Eton. Yeah, sa Eton.
Eton, yeah. Papuntang Eton. Tapos and then you try to develop an app.
Yeah.
And then from there, paano nga nag-evolve yun? Paano nag-evolve yung from a food business, from a chicken skin stall, all the way hanggang sa where you are right now, to a digital marketing agency, no? And a renowned one. Kakaano mo lang ng
Yes, Dubai. So, always goes back to what excites me the most during that time. So, nung food business, like, malakas naman talaga yung passion ko for food. Like, I love cooking. I love parang, yun, like, showing off. Kumbaga, yung mga niluluto ko, I love.
Hindi ko nga natikman yung scampi mo nung Christmas ba yun or yung
Sorry
New Year?
Po. Naubos pa kagad. Sorry.
Hindi naubos. Kinuha agad ni mama.
So, yun nga, di ba? Like, whatever excites me during that time. Yun, nung time na yun, yung sa food business, it's because gusto ko ng anything related to food. So, that's why I started the food business. And then, naging food events business siya because I realized na it was a way to scale yung food business. So, siya, always goes back to my passions during that time. Nung time na I started yung Sked, yung social calendar app, it was the time na around 2014, 2015, uso pa nung time na yun, Foursquare, parang ganun. So, anything na social, anything na app related, anything na technology related, sobrang na-excite ako sa idea na yun. So, I'd always come up with ways to improve kung ano yung available ngayon, or find ways to make it more special with my parang fingerprint, kumbaga. So, lahat yun, yes, they failed. Pero, ang pinaka nag-stick sa akin was yun nga, yung sa ngayon, sa 8 Media, is, again, my love for technology and my love for writing. And we didn't start out as a digital marketing company naman. We started out as a company that helped with content marketing. So, we created blogs, email newsletters for companies. And, again, it all stemmed from my love for writing talaga. I loved creating stories. I saw na if I was to merge business and my love for writing and technology, it would all end up with marketing. Kasi marketing is a way for you to use storytelling to help businesses propel sales, propel awareness. So, doon nagsimula yung 8 Media. And it just happened na with 8 Media, it became successful. I was able to form a team, I was able to find clients, and umabot sa point na yun nga, may recognition kami. So, I stuck with it. Pero I know in myself na there are still lots of things I want to do in terms of like entrepreneurship, in terms of creating stuff. So, 8 Media is just one part of it. Like, digital marketing companies, just one part of it. It's something I love doing, definitely. Pero I'm not closing my doors to other ways na I can parang create more stuff or make more businesses. It just so happened na with digital marketing, with 8 Media, it worked out really well. Parang ganun.
What do you think is next after ano?
Next,
Like right now, what do you think is next sa ano? Sa sa, sa portfolio ng isang Gerald Castillo?
siguro something related to creating content, something related to personal branding. I've been, yun nga, like, alam mo naman na parang I recently wrote a book. And it was more of like an experiment lang na pinaaga ko lang yung timeline ko na I wanted to write a book when I retire. Ngayon, like sabi ko, why not ngayon? So, I wrote a book. It was fun. I had fun. It was very stressful, pero it was very fun. So, sabi ko, creating content like this podcast, for example, it's something that excites me. So, maybe something around those lines. Something about maybe writing another book. Maybe creating a brand around the recent book that I wrote, yung Love at First Hill. Creating more ways to teach people through content. Maybe write-ups, maybe blogs, maybe YouTube videos. I don't know. TikToks, I don't know. So, something talaga. Sasayaw ako, tapos nagtuturo ako, mga ganun. I don't know. Pero, something along those lines talaga. Kasi, ewan ko, like, it's fun creating content. Ito pa lang yung paggawa ng podcast. It's fun talking about my experiences. Again, going back dun sa us teaching people, us learning about stuff. It's fun to teach people about yung things that we've experienced and learned about. So, maybe along those lines siguro.
It's not really just about no? It's not really just about having a business, but really for you, it's helping other people succeed eh. Kaya ang ano nyo ngayon eh. Kaya super blessed ang 8 Media ngayon.
I believe so. So, ang idea behind it naman kasi is, ako, not just me, pero yung co-founders, yun, si Pao, si Bok, kilala mo naman. So, ever since talaga, like, malakas yung belief namin on entrepreneurship. Like, nung college pa lang naman is, ginagawa namin sa school org namin is Young Entrepreneur Society. So, malakas yung push namin in terms of like entrepreneurship. Like, we have a strong belief na with entrepreneurship, like, lots of lives would be propelled upwards, lots of people would be helped, parang lots of jobs would be created, lots of problems would be solved with entrepreneurship. So, with that vision in mind, or with that understanding in mind, of course, like, pinakang advocacy namin is help other entrepreneurs succeed talaga. Like, us being a business that helps through marketing is just one part of it. There's still lots of aspects ng entrepreneurship or starting a business that needs help with it. And there are a lot of businesses that do that. And if kung kami, matutulungan namin sila through marketing, helping them grow, helping them find more clients, more customers, more revenue. Kung yun yung gagawin namin para matulungan sila, no problem. And if we can come up with other ways to help them out, no problem then.
Where is that coming from? Yung pagiging helpful with others. Kasi how I see it is you really have that inclusivity that you want to include everyone in your success. But where did it come from? How did it start na naging ganun yung outlook mo in life to really help entrepreneurs, help people?
It all stemmed from yung time na I went to this entrepreneurial school called Watson University, based sa Boulder, Colorado. And it was brought to the Philippines noong 2015, I believe. And I went to that school. And ang pinaka-founders talaga nila and ang pinaka-main businesses that was involved or like yung main students na nandun was involved in social entrepreneurship. So, social entrepreneurship is businesses around helping other people talaga. And I saw some ways how for-profit businesses can be bridged towards social entrepreneurship or helping other people. And it's through cooperation talaga. So, one of my strongest beliefs talaga is collaboration across different companies if we're working towards a common goal. So, that's why I don't alienate Eat Media from other competitors. I actually parang do the outreach myself. I actively reach out to competitors to find ways that we can work together kasi we're all working towards a common goal naman eh. So in the long run, it actually ends up being beneficial to all parties, the people that we're helping and the companies that are involved. So me and yung competitor na I'm collaborating with. Kasi we're all working towards the same goal eh. We're all working towards helping businesses succeed eh. Although some agencies don't realize it, that's the goal that they're working on eh. So maybe some other agencies are centered around the creativity side of it. Maybe some are centered around just running a business, making money. But at the end of the day, making money and helping other people can go hand in hand eh. And that's not a lot of people, that's something that not a lot of people understands. So, yun yung parang yung gray area pagdating sa for-profit and social enterprises. So, yun yung middle ground, kumbaga. Not gray area, pero middle ground na you can help other people and make money at the same time. So, I think na the fact na I'm making money helps propel my initiative to help other people, and the satisfaction that I get from helping other people in turn makes me more money. Parang ganun. I don't know.
Ang favorite kong story with how 8 Media started is, that story at Starbucks. Yung that highlighted, that specific incident highlighted already where your company is going or is about to go into it, because you were just there eavesdropping,
Yeah. So the story was nasa Starbucks ako waiting for a meeting. I was working there before I go to a meeting, and behind my seat was a company na pinipitchan ng marketing agency. So while I was listening to it, sobrang sabaw talaga mga sinasabi. Like, digital marketing, sobrang cut and paste, sobrang cookie cutter na pitch in how to help them without actually understanding the customer, without actually understanding the client. And while I was about to leave, na-realize ko parang, why not? Like, kapal na lang na mukha. And listening to them naman, parang they weren't fully satisfied with the pitch that they received. So, as I was about to leave, I stood up. I gave them my calling card. And sabi ko, if you want to hear a different approach, just let me know. Tapos I left. And 30 minutes later, they messaged me. Sabi nila, bakit umalis ka pa? Sana nagstay ka na para mag-pitch. Yun ba yan yung story na sinasabi mo?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Kasi from there alone, di ba? From that incident or that instance pa lang, kitang-kita na you really want to help people. And, you know,
Kasi namamantig talaga yung tenga ko, parang pinapanggan ko yung pitch ng agency niya, parang, ano yung pinagsasabi mo? Mali lahat yan. Parang gayon. Tapos, walang sense yung pinagsasabi mo. And, listening to the pitch, interior design company to. Tapos, balak mo gawin XYZ. Tapos, like, walang sense talaga yung mga pinagsasabi. So, naisipan ko na lang, might as well, offer kami ng services namin. Wala namang mawawala. Bibigay ko lang yung calling card ko. What's the worst that could happen? They could say no. Okay. And kumagat sila. And until now, client namin sila.
Pero diba, from what I remember, you know, being an entrepreneur means that you're a risk taker.
Of course. Pero, one of the misconceptions is, yung risk na yun, dapat calculated risk. Hindi naman 100% risk, di ba? Kasi syempre, ayaw mo naman mawala ng pera. Ayaw mo naman sayang ng oras. So, calculated risk yun. May foundations pa rin siya in some ways. Yun.
How would you define calculated risk?
If we're talking about, for example, a good example would be kami, 8 Media, digital marketing agency. We see ourselves yung pag-start ng 8 Media as a calculated risk kasi it's not entirely out of the box. We were not reinventing the wheel. It was us starting as a data-centric digital marketing agency. It was not based because we just wanted to take a risk and wala pang gumagawa sa Pilipinas, gawin natin. It was being done outside of the country na. It was being done in Singapore, it was being done in the US, and wala pang gumagawa sa Pilipinas. So there was some sort of foundation na successful siya. The business model itself was successful. So, applying it here to the Philippines, yun na yung calculated risk. So, hindi naman kami 100% na sige, sugal natin lahat ng oras at pera natin dito. It was okay, nagawa na siya sa ibang bansa. Try natin dito sa Pilipinas. So, that's a calculated risk for me. So, hindi siya 100% na sugal lahat.
So, kumbaga, you're just localizing the concept.
Again, we were not reinventing the wheel. So, may sugal siya in some sense. Definitely. Pero, hindi naman yun 100% na gawa tayo ng something crazy out of nowhere. Diba? Yeah. Calculated risk yun para sa amin.
Will there ever be a YOLO moment? YOLO moment for 8 Media? Or for you?
For me? Oh, sure. For me, babalan ng risk eh. Ako lang naman eh. Hindi naman yung kumpanya ko eh. Kung yung kumpanya ko, mahirap. Kasi we have shareholders to talk to eh. So, mahirap mag-push ng YOLO moment. Pero pag sa akin, sure.
Is you going public
Sure.
a thing or something something down the line that will happen in 8 Media?
Definitely on the table. Us going public, us getting acquired, sure, no problem. Again, wala naman.
Is it something that you would want? I mean, I know you're an independent person. I mean, I think that's one of the key
Good.
things that
Good insight. Good insight.
Kasi diba one of the things why you wanted to be an entrepreneur as well is you wanted to be your own boss. But going public means that you're going to be working for someone na. Is it
Good insight.
Is it good for you? Will it be something that you think that will happen?
Good insight yan. Sure, being Going public, getting acquired, definitely on the table. Pero mag-asahan na ako pa rin yung CEO nun. On the table, definitely. Pero yun. Like,
Pero will it be hard for you? I mean, even if you're the CEO, you're still answering to someone. You're still going to have to answer to someone once you go public. Diba?
yun nga, like, when we go
Kasi
public,
right now you're not answering to anyone, but yourself and your team. But going public, you would have to answer to someone. You have to be.
yun nga, going public or getting acquired, on the table, definitely. Pero by that time, I see myself na siguro retiring down to board of directors na lang, board of advisors. Hindi ko na kaya na ako yung susunod sa someone else. Ganon. Gets? Oh, on the table siya. Like, billing kami, sure. Stay ako CEO for a year, sure. No problem. Mag-IPO kami, sure. Walang problema. Pero wag yung aasan magsistay pa ako.
Paano pagka nangyari sa'yo yung like what happened to Steve Jobs, that he got kicked out of his own company?
By that time, nag-IPO na kami, okay lang. No problem. Wala akong problema doon. Kain nyo ako, no problem. Kunin nyo ako ulit, walang problema. Basta, napabot ko yung company to this stage. Napabot ko yung company to scaling. Being recognized, okay na ako. Move on to something else, no problem.
If you're like, if you've diversified to something else, and then do you see yourself like something of a conglomerate na may mga meron kang hawak sa meron kang hawak sa
Oh yeah.
Ganito aspect, sa different kinds of industries?
For sure. Definitely. Like, ganun naman yung end goal ko sa sarili ko. Na hindi ako stuck to one industry. Me doing something else in different industries, sure. Pero like centered around technology talaga ako as of the moment. If ever I get the opportunity or get the insight or get the education to explore other industries, sure.
Masters calling.
Hindi nga eh. So, yun.
Masters and doctorate calling. Paging Gerald Castillo.
We'll see.